Recording. Alright, so this last chapter is, this week's chapter is all about hardware. I can edit it. This week's chapter is all about hardware. So I thought it would be interesting to take a computer apart and open it up, let you see what the hardware actually looks like in your computer. So this computer, let's start off with over here. We have the hard drive. This is a SATA cable. It transfers the data from the hard drive into the motherboard. This is the power cable. It comes from the power supply over into the hard drive and provides all the power to run it. Hard drives, this one has a spinning data disk inside of it, and you can remove hard drives or add hard drives fairly quickly with a little bit of effort into your computer. So some people add additional hard drives, so that's why there's an empty space here, so you could have a second hard drive if you were running out of storage space, or if you need to replace your hard drive, you simply can put it in and out. This is a 4 terabyte hard drive, so one would hope you wouldn't need a bigger one, but sometimes you do. Moving from the hard drive over to this large green square, this circuit board is the motherboard. Everything inside your computer connects back to the motherboard, so it's kind of like the central nervous system of your computer. Everything runs off of it. We have our RAM sticks here. They are fairly easy to remove also. This is a RAM stick. This particular one is 4 gigabytes. You may have larger or smaller ones inside of your computer depending on its age and the cost of the computer at the time. This one can hold 2 sticks at a time. You can easily upgrade your RAM and add more to it as you need it. There is a limit on your motherboard of how much RAM you can add, but you should be able to find that from your documentation of your computer. This right here is the fan, and the silver radiator looking device underneath it is called your heatsink. This unit is sitting on top of the CPU, or the central processing unit of the computer. It's a little harder to get it out, so I'm not going to take it out this time, but you want the heatsink and the fan because the CPU produces an excessive amount of heat. The faster your computer is, the more heat it produces. So we're going to put the heatsink directly on top of the CPU, and then we're going to use the fan to blow air through the heatsink. The heatsink works like a radiator, so it pulls the heat off of the CPU, and the fan dissipates it. We also have on this motherboard a video card. It also is removable. This one has a built-in fan because it also has a graphics processor on it, so it produces its own heat. Most computers come with built-in video. I usually have to add video cards to my computer because I play a lot of video games. So I need more video graphics to handle the 3D modeling and things like that. This one, since I don't see where it says how big it is, but they have a certain amount of memory built into them and a certain amount of video processing speed. So if you move over to this side, this is the power supply. You plug a cable into the back, goes to the wall, gets electricity, and then it distributes the electricity to the motherboard, the CD-ROM drive, the hard drive, and any other components you have attached. Sometimes even some of your higher processing video cards will have their own power cable hooked to them. Just depends on how much power they need. This computer did come equipped with a CD-ROM drive. It has its power connection. It uses a SATA cable much like the hard drive to connect it to the motherboard, and it makes all the pieces interchangeable inside of your computer. If you move to the back of the computer, you can see all of the different ports associated with it. So we have an RJ45 port or an Ethernet port. This lets you hardwire into the internet if that's available. We have USB ports. This machine has 6 of them. We have an HDMI port for the onboard graphics, a VGA port for the onboard graphics. We have the sound, microphone, headphone jacks here. If you put the video card, if the video card was in its slot here, you could also see that it has a VGA port, HDMI port, and a DVI port. So that's the basics of an inside of a computer. The book talks a lot about how the pieces work, but I thought you would enjoy seeing what it looked like. And I will add more videos as we move to new topics.